ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ.
ನಮಸ್ತೆ,
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ. ನಮಸ್ತೆ. This is Guru Prasad along with Professor Shastriji and Satish from Ka-Naada Gurukula. We are hereby trying to give you an insight into the basics of running a language lab. Language lab run ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. So what we have here is the fundamental process of this is an Indic keyboard, and we are trying to kind of build the contents around the Indic keyboard. So how can the lab function in a school? How can a student get an outcome is what we are primarily discussing. We will go over three different parts. One is the methodology, second is the content, third is from the user point of view, how he's going to be using. This, as I said, this is to empower teachers and to provide the students with the tools and technology to use our language and also be a great asset for implementing the national education policy. So without any further ado, the Indic keyboard is a mother tongue based keyboard. So if you see on the front or on my screen here, so this is a mother tongue keyboard, and the layout of the language has got a special significance, whether it is Hindi, Kannada or any Indian language, right? It's in the same spot. So very simple two-line command. So it's always on the back of your keyboard. So if you look at it, it's on the back of your keyboard, the very simple command lines, right? Ka shift A is ka, ka shift E is ki, and ka shift 2 is ku. The way you add and get the ligatures, adding consonants and vowels. Any of the shift button, you see the gray buttons are all shift buttons. So you can use any one of those. There are 9 of those, including the ones that is there in your keyboard. And the other button that we want to show is this orange button, right? Orange button. So that is for Ottakshar, to add 2 consonants. Ka, Ottakshar, that orange button Ka is adding Ottakshar. So, ಎರಡು ಒತ್ತಾಕ್ಷರ ಸೇರಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ Ka, ಹಲಂತ್ ಬಟನ್, ಆರೆಂಜ್ ಬಟನ್, ಕೇಸರಿ ಬಣ್ಣದ್ದು, ಮತ್ತೆ Ka ಒತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಕಾಗೆ Ka ಒತ್ತಾಕ್ಷರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So very simple. So using this, there is a language switch button. So with the language switch button on the very end here, function F12, you press function F12, or if you have a pocket computer installed, those of you in those schools where we have this pocket computer installed, so it is on the top of your screen, Ubuntu, all the Ubuntu machines on top of the screen, you choose your language, and you can manually shift also using control space bar. Either way you can shift the languages. So basically that is all the workings of a keyboard once it's installed. So in the Gurukula, we have enough instructions where we can walk you through how to install for Ubuntu, how to install for any one versions of Debian, Linux. These are a lot of you have these machines. So we have installed this pocket computer in a lot of your schools and made this a server. Okay. So we'll talk about what that server is. And it also, our keyboard also connects through this USB port. So any keyboard that you take through the USB port, it will connect, and you can use your phone also. Okay, the same exercise you can do with your phone. So as you see, I've connected this keyboard, the USB, right, and this connects to the phone. So now you can use the keyboard and the phone becomes your computer. Okay, now as we said, there are simple instructions for children right from first standard, right from kindergarten all the way to college. So this is the first of its kind language lab, where really the language is empowered through the keyboard, right? A mother tongue hardware keyboard. This is a manifestation of Shiksha Shastra in a hardware form. So this hardware is all made in India, and we have started using it in various schools. And we want to congratulate you for coming on board to the Gurukula. So for the college, we have done a lot of the skilling classes like robotics, like tools and technology for Indic language that Satish will walk you through, whether it's developing fonts, developing contents, Kannada domain name, Hindi domain name, right? So jo bhi bhasha ho, you can think and type in your mother tongue. So we'll talk a little bit on that as to why you need that. So let me quickly switch gears on to a slide here that you probably may be wondering, why do I need this keyboard? So very quickly, we'll walk you through this. So if you see this slide set here, so why is mother tongue? Because that is a very important part of your learning activity and your creative power. It's all in a very specific part of your brain. The Swara and Vyanjana layout, right? It's based off some very specific science here. And you might have all these are papers, and those of you interested, you can click and get all these papers. So the foundation is better English if mother tongue is used till 10th. UN itself has told along with Cambridge. And that is the biggest differentiator right now, that any rural school, anybody with a mother tongue can be in par with Digital India or the English medium schools. And phonetics is the science behind it. Not only that, why do we need a keyboard, right? So keyboard is very important aspect of thinking and typing. It is activating a very specific response set in your brain, right? Your neurons are touching a very specific parts, and all this tactile and fusiform gyros in the brain are activated in the mother tongue part, right? So now what we are doing to type Ka, we are looking for K. So we're looking to the foreign part of the brain rather than the mother tongue part of the brain. So now this provides you an innate ability to improve your memory, improve your thinking and typing power as you think you can type. Okay. Now a lot of this basis is covered in these papers, so you can slowly go over that. Now I'm going to go back to the presentation here quickly. So what is this concept of a language lab, right? So if you look at the language lab, we have piloted in several schools over 1.5 years, and we've got test data right now. So as we said, this pocket computer that you see, or your Ubuntu, those of you who have in Karnataka, those of you who have the Talc labs or Diet labs, they all have this Ubuntu or Linux machines also. You can use either those, or we can make one of these pocket computers as a server. Very low cost, right? Less than 10,000 rupees, you have a server connecting content to your local machines. So hardware wise, any XP onwards, you connect, or Ubuntu labs, you connect in a local network. So we'll show you some of the local networks, how we have set up. So the idea is the lab should work with electricity, without electricity, with internet, without internet. So how do you do that? So that is what we are going to show in some of these. Plus we have put content, right? We've got a website called Ka-Naada Gurukula, where we have a blended lab curriculum with videos and integration to mother tongue. So a lot of this goes hand in hand with a reinforced learning methodology that enhances the teaching that the teacher is teaching. And students can take these keyboards home. Once they learn the key concept in the lab, they take this keyboard home and connect it through the OTG that we just showed you. And they can do a whole lot of things with their phones at home, right? Or their pocket computers at home. So this opens up a totally new ability for children to do many things that was otherwise not possible. So this is an example of a lab that we have been running in rural Bangalore. And as we said, the mind map techniques was one of the key things that we use for any mother tongue medium to learn English. Okay, so using our keyboard. So there's a using mother tongue, they're remembering the key concepts, and then they're going to kind of remember that, not by hearting. Then we have a mind map for grammar. So Satish will quickly show you that particular mind map site in the Gurukula website. So the Gurukula website is Ka-Naada Gurukula, one word, Ka-Naada, N-A-A-D-A, Gurukula.teachable.com. So Satish, if you have it ready, you can show it, or I can show it also. Now, this website basically has a login and password, and you just register yourself with your email address, and then you can walk through and you subscribe for different classes. Each class has got its own subscription things. So if you're a 10th English, you have a whole bunch of lessons for 10th standard. If you're in 9th, there's a whole bunch of lessons for 9th. And if special lessons like animation, how to do website, even those skilling type lessons we have put. Okay. So this now gives you an ability to do a lot more using mother tongue keyboard, making small movies, stories, website designs. So .Bharat is the extension for all Indic language now. So now anybody in any nook and corner of India can go to a website using his mother tongue keyboard. He does not need to know English. All right. But we have also got other lessons. So Satish, you want to walk through or you're having trouble? Okay. So what I have here is the Gurukula website, right? So let me pull it up. And all this is now, all the lessons, including what we're talking right now, is put as a lesson in the website. Has it come, Satish?
No, it's partially displaying.
Okay. How about now?
Okay.
Now this is once you log in, right? In the login screen, normally you have to give your email address and log in. Normally for each school, we try to give you a common username and password. And then for each of these classes, you can once again connect and then subscribe, right? So all these are free as of now. And thanks to a lot of the donors who have made this happen. So we want to bring it to more and more schools and get them digitally connected. So for instance, the first lesson, learning Samskrita using Kannada. Okay. So I'm going to pass this. This is a very unique blended technique where we have used both real typing, real lectures and pronunciations. So let me click on this and Shastriji will walk you quickly how the lessons are structured and so on. Shastriji, over to you. You are muted.
Hello, namaste. Swagata. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಿಂದ ಕನ್ನಡ, ಕನ್ನಡದಿಂದ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ, ಹಾಗೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಆಧಾರವಾಗಿ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಭಾಷೆಗಳನ್ನ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷನ್ನ ಕಲಿಯುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪಾಠಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So what you see in this site is a method of learning Sanskrit through Indian languages, say Kannada or Hindi, a method to learn beneficially English and other Indian languages on the design of Sanskrit in a structured way. So you have seen the keyboard. The keyboard is designed on the basis of the Sanskrit Brahmi language or Bharatiya Swara Vyanjana Akshar Varnamala. So this is the Indian initiative, Indian language initiative, which has come into technology and productization. For the first learners of language and content through the computer medium, the interface point cannot be starting with English because a visible building is built on an invisible foundation. ಒಂದು ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣುವ ಮನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಸೂಪರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದು ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಆದರೆ ಅದರ ಅಡಿಪಾಯ ಬಂದು ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಡಿಪಾಯ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಮೇಲಿರೋ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಭಾಷೆಗಳ ಅಡಿಪಾಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಗಣಕ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬೆಳೆದರೆ ಅದು ಗಟ್ಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಶಾಶ್ವತವಾಗಿ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಭಾರತೀಯ ಗಣಕ ಭಾಷಾ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಆಂಗ್ಲ ಭಾಷೆಯ ಅಡಿಪಾಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತ್ರೆ ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸದೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂತ್ರೆ ಅದು ಬಹಳ ಅಶಕ್ತವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅಶಕ್ತಿ, ನಿಶಕ್ತಿ ಅಥವಾ ದೋಷವನ್ನ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯೋಗ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಭಾಷಾ ವ್ಯಾಕರಣದ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಭಾಷೆಗಳಿಂದ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತವನ್ನ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಲಿಯುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾಠಗಳಿವೆ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ನೀವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಭಾಷೆಗಳ ವರ್ಣಮಾಲೆ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಸಿ ಆನ್ ದ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ a layout of the characters which are coming from the Brahmi Indian languages. The Aryan Dravidian classification is artificial. I call that as a Panini, Agastya, Vararuchi languages of the Orient, Pavlo classification. That is the Yoga Samskritam University research that we don't want to bring in here. So for the beginner, you have got a setup where the keyboard Ka-Naada is available as the first hardware where the fingers come in, and then a installed setup of computer where they log on to the Gurukula to access these lessons. The first lesson helps you to see how to use the keyboard in the mother tongue natural language mode. It does not matter out of 22 languages, 16 scripts, who learns which language as first language, second language, third language, foreign language, classical language, prayer language. It does not matter. What you get is this Swara Vyanjana. Two simple rules. One is the Swaras and Vyanjanas are organized as proper clusters with the human voice. ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಉಚ್ಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡುವ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳ ಜೋಡಣೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಎರಡನೇದು ವ್ಯಂಜನ ಸ್ವರಗಳ ಜೋಡಣೆ ಗುಣಿತಾಕ್ಷರ, ಒತ್ತಕ್ಷರ, ಬಾರಾಖಡಿ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಇದು ಬಹಳ ಸರಳವಾಗಿ ಎರಡು ನಿಯಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಮುಂಚಿನ ವಕ್ತಾರರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪಾಠಗಳು ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಲಿಪಿ ಕಲಿಯುವುದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಪಾಠ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಲಿಪಿಯಿಂದ ಪದಗಳ ಪರಿಚಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪದಗಳಿಂದ ವಾಕ್ಯದ ಪರಿಚಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 4 ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಕಲಿಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು: ಕೇಳು, ಲಿಸನ್; ಸ್ಪೀಕ್, ಹೇಳು; ರೀಡ್, ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸಿದ್ದನ್ನು ಓದು; ಆಮೇಲೆ ರೈಟ್, ಬರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೀನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಆಕಾತದ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋ ಹಾಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಕಾತದ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ವರ ವ್ಯಂಜನ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಕಲಿಕಾ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯನ್ನು ಯೋಗ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಥವಾ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳನ್ನ ಕಲಿಯಬೇಕು. ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳನ್ನ ಕಲಿಯಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳು ಲೇಔಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಯುವರ್ ಮದರ್ ಟಂಗ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಯು ಆರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್, ನಾಟ್ ದ ವಿಜುವಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಿಪ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಲಿಪಿಯನ್ನು ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗುರುತಿಸ್ಕೊತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೀ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಉಚ್ಚಾರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ದ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಈಸ್ ka is ka and it has a unique place in all the languages. So language selection ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ, ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ ಕನ್ನಡ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಕಖ ಗಗನ ಒಂದು ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಆ ಕ ಆ ಇ ಅಥವಾ ಕಖ ಗಗ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳು ಮೂಡಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರು ಕನ್ನಡ ಕಲಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡೇನೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಅವರು ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದ ದೇವನಾಗರಿ ಲಿಪಿಯಿಂದ ಆ ಇ ಕಖ ಗಗ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳು ಮೂಡುವುದು. ಅದು ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ. ಸೊ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಕುಲ ಮೊದಲ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಪದ್ಧತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಗ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳನ್ನ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸ್ವರ ವ್ಯಂಜನ ಜೋಡಣೆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಗೇಮ್ಸು ಪದಬಂಧ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಈ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್. ಈ ಪಾಠದ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಮೊದಲು ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡಿನ ಪರಿಚಯ, ನಂತರ ಗುರುಕುಲದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಕ್ಷರಾಭ್ಯಾಸಗಳು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಟೈಪಿಂಗು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಭಾಷೆಯಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಭಾಷೆಯ ಲಿಪಿ ಕಲಿಯತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಪಾಠ್ಯ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಪಾಠಗಳು ಏನಿದೆ ಅದರ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಹೇಗೆ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ PDF ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. PDF ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಡಿಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಕೂಡ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಗುರುಕುಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದೇ PDF ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ಗಳು, ಯಾವುದು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ PDF ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ಗಳು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಪಾಠ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಆಗುವ ಹಾಗೆ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ PDF ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಎಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಯೋಚನೆ ಬೇಡ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ದ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಹೌ ಟು ಎಡಿಟ್, ನಾಟ್ ಹೌ ಟು ಎಡಿಟ್, how to add the mother tongue exercise. You are seeing it on the screen now. There is a PDF lesson. There is an area where you can type in the Indian languages of your choice, Devanagari script or Kannada script, and store it. So this is true computerized learning of the language lessons using digital data. So this can go to a higher extent. We will train the teachers as well as the users, and this can be network. This will change a lot of learning issues. And the methodology we use is generally called as mind map. How the mind, learner's mind, associates the linguistic vocabulary and the learning logic and the finger movements with the visuals and all the other things. So that mind map part of learning English or improving the skills, I pass on to Guru Prasad, Dr. Guru Prasad, to take it up further.
Thank you, Professor Shastriji. So you kind of got a very informative background on how to learn a different language using your mother tongue. Despite not knowing the script, using your mother tongue keyboard, you can switch language just by listening. You can type. That is the beauty about all our Brahmi script-based scripts and pronunciations. So they can only be pronounced one way. So that's the beauty about computing for encryption. So a lot of these properties, phenomenal properties, can be brought alive. Now, activating the memory part of the child is very important. Thinking and typing in the mother tongue, that is fundamental. So now we can be one of the top 10 universities in the world, right? So that's how the Koreans, the Japanese, the Germans, they think, and the English, they're thinking in the mother tongue and typing. We are going to a different part of the brain, foreign language part, and they're having difficulty in creatively expressing. Now, this mind map technique that Shastriji was mentioned is something unique we experimented, because across India, this was one of the biggest problem by teachers, that mother tongue medium students are having a hard time. They're passing English as a subject, and they're by hearting and so on. So we came up with this this methodology where it's going to be easy for them to remember a context that reinforces what the teacher has taught in the class. There are some supportive videos that the teachers have given us. We have put it, if you see the left side of this Gurukula, once you enter, they're all summaries of what teacher taught. So those who are weak, they'll go through that. So the second time it's getting reinforced. The third time they're coming to enter in this. These are all editable boxes. Okay. So they're going to take a context that has been there, and then they're going to enter what is that context in the mother tongue, and then the noun and the verb and maybe pronoun or adjective, they're going to enter. A very simple 3-box, maximum 4-box boxes. And then they're going to write in English, right? So suddenly now their thought process is they know the concept well, right? And now what we have done, similarly, we have made some structures for grammar, English grammar. So if time permits, Satish will quickly show you. So we have a mind map for grammar using Kannada, how he maps to English, right? So I went to school in English, but it can be the same meaning can be construed 3 different ways in our Indian languages. So that we try to train them. And then they come here and they try to answer using the mind map of grammar, mind map of the context, and they start answering first in their mother tongue and then they're using the English. Within about 3-4 exercises, they remember everything very well, right? They remember it very well. Both the mother tongue part of the brain and the foreign part of the brain, they're both connected right now. So it's very important using our keyboard. Okay, so this is very important for all mother tongue medium language labs to learn English. This is one of the biggest, I think, contributions across India. One is learning English using mind map and spoken. The other one is mastering the subjects for long-term retention. So having said that, this is there in the Gurukula. In addition to this, we have put a lot of the other lessons that the teachers have given. Mostly in this, if you see, it's based in Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. So very soon we'll be putting the Hindi lessons also. So when they go to a lab, what does he do? What does the student do? This is very important because this concept did not exist from first standard onwards in India, right? To type Ka, you need to know K. K is in English. They teach English in 7th standard. So we have deprived them to 7th standard doing any digital exercises. Now that's not the case, right? So now having said this, so there are a whole bunch of lessons. We've got, if you go into keyboard tutor, so there is a typing to speed typing tutorial. If you download this, so what it does is basically it rapidly sends alphabets, right? So this is what we train the students for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, they have to practice in their mother tongue. So the neurons is getting mapped right now, the fusiform parts of the brain, right, with the mother tongue. So there is that connection. So for 5 minutes, they come and do the speed typing. So there are apps that send you the alphabets and the consonant conjugations that they look at it and type. Okay, very important. And then there are some lessons here to download. So there are some more complex lessons. So that is what they do. So they kind of activate that part of the brain. And then we have other lessons like learning Kannada, learning Tulu, right? Even a language like Tulu has come alive using your keyboard. Kashmiri Sharda can be typed. So other languages can also be typed, which is based off Brahmi scripts. Non-Brahmi script based is, we can also type Urdu, right? 60% of it is, 40% of it is Devanagari based. So they're adding 2 more characters, it is complete. So a lot of these possibilities for languages in this continent, subcontinent is now enabled. So we have put lessons like 10th social, 10th Kannada. So like how Shastriji was saying, I'm going to Kannada. So when you go to Kannada, same thing. There are lessons structured like this. So those who are weak in various parts, the teacher assigns those groups of students to do those sets of exercises. Okay, so they go in and click and say they click on a specific digital assignment. This is part of the curriculum which we have digitized, and they go and type in their mother tongue the answers. So it is getting recorded in this mother tongue part of the brain. So this is very important. So just like how you write, right? This tactile part of reinforcement is very important in this day and age of digital world. So again, this is a editable PDF right out of the curriculum. So they go and click, they download this file, they go click, and they can now type the answers with the mother tongue keyboard, right? So a lot of this we want to enable them fast, because if you look at United States, speed typing using English keyboard is compulsory in high school for 1 semester, right? That's how they reinforce mother tongue with the tactile thing in America. So our mother tongues are different. So we have to reinforce our mother tongue to get the creative part enabled in our children, because we cannot live with the digital devices in today's world. So this is very important for long-term retention of English and connecting your mother tongue creative part of the brain. So we have curriculum right now from 1st to 10th standard. So Satish, you want to talk about the curriculum for college. So a lot of people have been asking us. So let me quickly show you on the screen here that how we have connected a tab, and the entire thing is battery powered, or we have connected entire Linux, right? This is the entire Linux machine, you see, connected to a display underneath the computer. So we got an entire microcomputer, Linux, under the keyboard with battery, all built by students, and a display here, and a COVID sensor here. So people can now measure COVID, right? If you see, there's a hole there. They hold their fingers. So a lot of the skilling.
Guru Prasad, if you are showing this keyboard, you have to stop this screen sharing.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's distracting here. All right. Okay. So let me go back once. So I just wanted to highlight that how other classes are enabled. So Satish, let me hand it to you on this tools and technology. I was just trying to give a prelude how colleges can use this. So you want to walk over this, Satish?
You can continue.
Okay. So what we have is there are classes in a college environment for college labs, how to do fonts, okay, how to do translations, how to do speech to text, how to do OCRs, right? So we have connected a lot of this in this particular tools and technology class. So let me. So we have some experts here trying to talk on various aspects. So let me see. I gotta go back here. So this is a very exhaustive set of class where the each one is a big project by itself. So depending on the expertise of the student, interest of the student, so they go and choose their part of the curriculum, and then they kind of like say here, fonts in computational linguistics, right? It's very important field. So how to do the fonts for using Unicode, how to get ancient languages, how to do automated manuscript reading, how to bring in AI, how to do read the sampling. So a whole bunch of things, right, that we have never touched. So we have put all the foundations, how to use these open source tools, how to use some different editors, right? How to do the decoding of manuscripts. We even converted Tulu Ramayana, right, into 2 different languages. So amazing how we can do this. And now using a lot of these samples, we can do AI. So very soon, our children will be having apps that they can decipher a lot of these manuscripts. And how to build content. We have told this domain name availability in 10 different languages, right? So how you go and create this content in mother tongue, right? For instance, Ka-Naada.Bharata. So you can have it in your mother tongue, whether it's Kannada, Telugu, Devanagari. So how to do a lot of that. So we have put some basic lessons that the college students can now kind of use this as a lab project. So they do something creatively in the lab. So this is an example of one of the sessions here. I just want to show. So they're kind of, we have both displays at the inset. You'll see some videos and you'll see some software that we also put on the screen and show it. So this is a very useful one for colleges. Okay. So like you see here, so how to get all the fonts correctly, how to get the Unicode right. So we have a whole bunch of lessons that enables the college. So now anybody in any nook and corner of India or Bharat is digitally enabled. So this is for colleges. And like I showed you, we have got that embedded computer under the keyboard. So how to do build your own computer, right? So let me stop sharing the screen here. So I hope you got an idea about it. So basically how to build your own computer, right? How to build your sensors, how to do all this, right? It's a whole computer by itself. It's a portable computer. So how to do it for low cost now? So how to provide healthcare now? Anybody in any part of India can monitor health. So all this is possible with our languages. So we hope that you got a comprehensive overview of what we wanted in our Gurukula and keyboard system. So I'm just going to quickly wrap up. So we were talking of this links and other things, mind map techniques and language lab concept. So now what we do in terms of hardware, so we provide like pocket computers in various forms and sizes, and we connect to existing computers. And we have a switch here where we connect a lot of these cables in a local network. And if there is no internet, so the server has some lessons. We cannot put everything. We have put Khan Academy lessons. We have put animation lessons, right? Khan Academy in English. So people can now learn both. People are suddenly switched to English medium. They're having trouble. So now teacher can, or language lab assistant can sort the students out, and they come and take the ones they're weak in. Along in a peer network, they study very fast. So in 1 hour, if you commit 1 hour for a class, how a student gets enabled. So that is what we've done. We're right from the keyboard, right from speed typing, right from learning English, right from learning or typing Kannada or mother tongue, right from creating content and other things, right from doing animations, right from networking the labs. So all these children are now trained how to network the lab, how to open the machine if the memory card is weak, how to put it back, because they know their time is precious in the lab. So if you allot 1 hour to our children, you'll see a remarkable difference in the lab. The discipline, the leadership quality, the enablement of their mother tongue, the confidence that they can run a company running thousands of people around the world working under them is phenomenal. So that's what is possible with our keyboard and Gurukula. I hope you can somehow get this in running all the time with a minimum of 1 hour every week, and with the help of assistants or teachers or volunteers, but get the students to do things. So in this, you see on the right, there is like a small thing college students looking. So students help build us robots to test the keyboard. Every button in the keyboard has to be tested, right? We have 108 buttons. Every button has to be tested. How do you test it? Humanly not possible. So we guided the college students to build a robot, 3-finger robot, and that is testing the keyboard. So you can see how a lot of the advanced technology is now at the hands of your children in any rural part of India. So the impact is phenomenal, right? So number one issue was lack of keyboards in the mother tongue, which we provided. Second was lack of computers or content, low cost, which we have given, connecting both the curriculum as well as skilling classes. And with a very low cost now, they are able to really keep up with the digital world. And with the help of volunteers and teachers, we can put your lessons also inside there. Several teachers have given their own links. We record it and put it there. And this is how we have transformed and impacted a lot of rural Bharat. So we hope you can help us transform your school in bringing this content, structured content, the students and the network and our keyboard, so that this language lab is going to transform your school. Having said that, I really want to thank you for taking time out to install some of these labs in your schools and to listen this. Kindly pass it on to your teachers and also volunteers so they can see what this is about. And it's so easy and simple. So we can help you. Please do connect with us, contact us. So let's transform Bharat and make digital Bharat a great asset for the $1 trillion economy, that $5 trillion plus economy that India is trying to build. Namaste. On behalf of Ka-Naada Gurukula and Ka-Naada Phonetics. Ka-Naada is named after Ka-Naada Maharshi. He's the first scientist of Bharat. He developed the atomic theory. He developed the laws of motion, which is currently called Newton's laws. And he developed also the logic, which we normally use in our computer science. So we are indebted to Ka-Naada Maharshi and all the Sapta Maharshis and all the other ancient wisdom that has been handed over to us. We want to connect Vedic science with contemporary science and make your children the great assets for this world, bringing up the entire world to the next level. Thank you again on behalf of Professor Shastriji, Satish, and rest of the Ka-Naada team and teachers. I really thank you for spending time with us. Hope you empower your school. Thank you.